live, and here I am. And I deeply apologize on behalf of StreamYard for starting late. Um, they had a snafu that caught me completely off guard that wouldn't fix itself, and I um, don't know. I actually don't know how I fixed it, let alone how what the snafu is about. I'll be having words with their tech folks afterwards. And of course, that put me in a less than pleasant mood. I think that whatever, well, it looks like I've still got some audience here. Um, Thank you for hanging in there. The choice language I was using to express myself to a screen that was not working was, I think, really interesting. Let me do some recovery here and talk about what it is we're going to be talking about. Um, this whole series, The End of Our Future, is talking about how we see our future. We are being directed in some ways, think about our future a particular way, and we need to put some blinders on so that we are not following somebody else's script, that we're actually writing our own future. We can do that. We're smart enough to do it. I've been saying that for a long time. And we will be the people who are living that future. So we might as well create one that we want to live in. Before we get started, and I'll be saying this a couple of times as we are moving forward, please like, subscribe, and click on the notifications bell. You've heard that said in almost every video that you've or live stream you've ever seen. It really does teach the algorithm to reach out to more people. There's no other way to reach out to more people, so please do that. One of the things that I find really interesting is that I will see a video on YouTube, and I'll really like it, and I'll be writing notes, etc. But I don't remember to click the like button until somebody says, "Please click the like button." So please, right now, click your like button. And if you want to subscribe to our channel, you will get notifications automatically and that will help me from having to send out notifications for everybody, etc. It really works. I'm sorry that it works that way because I would rather have human beings involved and in control of things, but that's just what I want. And the second notification is this live stream is the first of a series. We're going to go for 7 weeks, twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. On Tuesdays, we're going to be talking about the problems inherent in our future and how that future gets cast. On Thursdays, we're going to be talking about the potential, the visions of our future. And I mean visions beyond a techno future that has us trashing Mars or the moon or anything like that. I am, as you probably know by now, I'm not in favor of that stuff. And last announcement is going to be if you are so interested, I'm going to be doing a live and free presentation with an IONS community group this Saturday, the 16th of March at 7 p.m. Pacific. And if you are interested in attending, send me a email at mail@commonway.org. and we'll get you the right information. That's coming up really soon. Okay, so getting really started a little later than I'd wanted to. Our topic today is the future, or perhaps I should say, our topic today is our futures. Whose future are you going to be living? Are you going to be living the future of a healthy, healing, sustainable, human scale, spirit driven future? Or are we going to be living the techno dystopia that we're seeing in the future? Um, the techno future, and I think this is a very interesting point. The techno future doesn't need human beings. The techno future can can keep going regardless of whether human beings are in the loop or not. Now that becomes even more pointed when you start looking at the over the last 18 months, the burgeoning of what gets called AI. And I saw a better description of it, if I can find a piece of paper, by someone by the name of Nate Hagens, who's not calling it artificial intelligence. He's calling it simulated intelligence, which is exactly what it is. It is nothing but a computer program that they try to fit more human-like qualities to. Now, I'm old enough to remember Clippy. Now, you remember Clippy, this so-called assistant that came with the early versions of Microsoft Word. I hated Clippy from the very instant I saw it. It had all these little supposedly cute mannerisms, etc., and all it was some animated garbage that got in your way from actually doing the work that you needed to do. So AI is kind of the next generation of Clippy for me, and it's still fairly useless and still getting in the way. So do we have? So is our future Clippy Part 2? Is our future regardless of human beings? Is our future even anti-human beings? Is our future so devoid of our humanity? Is that the reason why there are so many human beings living on our streets right now? Is that the reason why so many people are living in tents right now? I was, and I've told the story before, I think, on a live stream. I was doing work in the homeless encampment in Portland called Dignity Village, and I was doing some work with the people who were in Dignity Village, who had largely built their own houses and who were operating as a community, not as a bunch of individuals. And I was talking with one of the women there who was a former long distance trucker, and she was saying that as a long haul trucker, she had a good life. She was able to support herself, support her family, etc. And then they started developing the tandem trucks so that one truck could haul 2 trailers. And she thought that was great because she's making more money. but not thinking about who got put out of a job because she's pulling a trailer that somebody else was in a truck pulling before. She said she didn't think about it until she was the one that got pushed to the side because they started going to 3 rigs being pulled by one truck. And so our challenge is um, in our quest for this elusive thing that they call efficiency. Who gets pushed to the side? Well, I can tell you now who gets pushed to the side. Human beings. If the more robots we build, and believe me, they're building robot trucks right now. You'll see them on the roads in a few years. And most of us will say, oh, wow, my deliveries are getting made faster and faster now. But how many of us are thinking, how many human beings are being shoved into how many more homeless encampments because those jobs don't exist anymore, and we don't need human beings to do that work. Now, I'm going to change that scenario a little bit because, as you know, when I do consulting work, I've done consulting work with all sorts of groups of people. Okay, and when I'm doing middle level construction work or upper level construction work, consulting work, I'm meeting with people who have very comfortably 5-figure, sometimes 6-figure jobs, and they don't produce any work. They don't produce anything that is needed in society. They walk around carrying a coffee cup and going from meeting to meeting to meeting, going blah, blah, blah in this meeting and then blah, blah, blah in that meeting without contributing anything substantial to the meeting. Think about this. I guess the epitome of this would be Congress, the US Congress, which doesn't do any work. Their work is trying to pass the next continuing resolution to keep the government funded for 6 more months. And then they do nothing for 6 months, and then they have to do another continuing resolution to keep it going for 6 more months. And they've been doing this for years and years and years now. Then they investigate each other. One side will investigate the other side, and they'll spend millions upon millions of dollars in the investigation. Nothing happens, and then there's a switch over in administrations, and then they start the process over again of continuing resolutions and investigations. I keep saying, shut the government down and watch what happens. Now, what will happen is nothing. We're not getting what we should be getting from that process. So our challenges are, how do we change that scenario? How do we change the scenario so that we're looking at creating situations where more and more people can be meaningfully employed in right livelihood? And that doesn't mean make work stuff. That doesn't mean, everybody's, give everybody a broom so they're sweeping the streets. What it means is, the next time somebody says we're going to invent a robot to do X or Y or Z, somebody, our leaders maybe, should be saying, do we need a robot that can do that because there are human beings that need work? instead of having a never-ending bureaucracy where people can be paid to walk from one meaningless meeting to another meaningless meeting. People who have no skills that are needed by society. Once we get past all that, okay, we can start seeing that there are things that our society needs doing, but we're not willing to pay anybody to do it. There are people creating robots right now that creating a robot dog to replace a dog. And those of you who know me, I'm not a fan of dogs. But if you're going to have a dog, you don't have to have one that plugs into the wall at night. You can have a dog that actually, that you can have a heartfelt relationship to. We're trying to create a world that we don't need any hearts, where we don't actually need the people. And the epitome of that, let's see if I can find the epitome of that real quick. I've got a real brief clip that I want to share with you. This is you can find this on any YouTube. This is like this one is the world of 2050, and everything we're seeing in 2050 is really cool technology, but no one's saying how we're going to get to this technology. No one's saying, oh, by the way, these laboratories are the cleanest laboratories you've ever wanted to see. All of this stuff is super clean, super cool. Everybody's having fun. And, this guy is spacing out in the middle of the woods. The question isn't, is any of this stuff necessary? Is any of this stuff meaningful? It's, oh, wow, how can I get my part of it? And at some point, I'm saying it right now, this stuff is soul deadening. It doesn't allow the human spirit to be creative. As I'm seeing this, especially the 3D printing stuff, I'm remembering being in just about any country I've ever been to, but coming across the people who are real artisans, people who are I have to turn this off. People who are using a knife, a piece of wood, carving, bringing out something, creating with their hands and their heart, as opposed to pushing a button on a machine and having it spit something out. So our challenge is, can we do the things that open the doors to a rebirth of our humanity? I'm coming up with a word, I'm testing it out now, of retopia. Now we know what utopia is, this in our society today, fantastic view of our future. We know what dystopia looks like. We can look out most of us can look out our window and see dystopia. But what about retopia? Really rethinking our visions and rethinking the beginning of a new future, not the end of the breaker future. That has some elements to it let me see where I am in terms of my time. We started late. I'm going to go about 5 minutes after the hour. I'm also going to be looking to see if there anybody making any comments in the that's in my current chat right now. Um, because of that, remember I said that the second half of the hour I want to have as a discussion. We're not going to have a discussion this time because I'm not seeing anything that's in the chat. That's okay. You can write your questions down now. You can do a couple of different things with them. You can put them in a chat, either in Facebook or in YouTube. LinkedIn was not playing well today. That LinkedIn was the thing that made our 10-minute gap appear in terms of our getting started. But yeah, I want us to be able to put our chat in YouTube, put it in Facebook. And starting next week, we'll be able to do it with LinkedIn also, keeping our fingers crossed here. If you don't want to do it that way, or if it's not working that way, just send it to me, mail@commonway.org, and I'll get it, and we'll work it into our Thursday program where we're talking about our future. So let me spend 5 more minutes and then I'll be done. I want to, you may have heard this conversation about having a guaranteed income, just, basically giving people money so that we can keep the wheels of greed going. We can basically take the money out of our tax dollars and give it to people who don't have any jobs so they can continue to spend money in our current dysfunctional economy. So we can buy all that stuff that we keep seeing in our techno future. We can buy new computers and new devices and all this other stuff. But we're not requiring people to be creative. We're not requiring that people be productive. We're not requiring anything of anybody. Just here's some money, go out and give it to Amazon. Go out and give it to whatever car company you want. Spend it at McDonald's. It's like, as long as you are spending money, not even your own money, that's your role and that's your job in the future, is to spend money even though you're not making it. There's something fundamentally wrong with that picture. It's wrong in a macro sense. We can't have 8 billion people who are not productive, but who are still spending somebody else's money. This is the recipe for despair. It's a recipe for emptiness. It's a recipe for suicide. And all we're thinking of is, how can I give money to that person over there, as opposed to, how do we create a society that works for all living beings, including that person over there? That's a different question. And we come up with a different answer for that. So let me leave you with what our future has been, the Tuesday future. And then we can talk about, and I want you to think about, what's the future of our future. So the status quo future, what we've been trying to do, is, number one, keep doing what we've been doing. We don't want to change any of that. We want Congress just to kind of keep on spending money, keep on investigating itself, keep on passing continuing resolutions, keep on going blah, 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 and not look at the fundamentals of what society is all about. Number two, we want to keep that going regardless of the true costs. I want to put gasoline in my car without talking about how much does that gasoline actually cost in terms of the expanded military that we need to get it from over here to over there, the cost in terms of the damage to the environment, etc. Number three, we want a future, we want the same future, regardless of the fact that the problems keep getting worse. No, we keep passing climate change legislation, knowing that we're not even tickling the problem. We don't even want we want to pass this stuff as a gesture. So I'm trying to do something. It's like, no, you're not trying to do something. You're trying to do whatever is popular. We keep doing this thing, number four, regardless of the fact that we have no intention to solve any of the problems. You just look at the faces of some of the people that show up at this climate change stuff, and you can see their intention is to be there to eat some good food, sit down in the conference meetings and go blah, 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 and that's it. What we need is a new way of thinking about all of this. And we are the ones who will come up with it. We are going to start coming up with it on Thursday. So I hope that I will see you and I'll see some others on Thursday. I am, this is the new Sharif. I'm going to remind you that we came to the end. So hit the like button if you didn't do that in the beginning. Hit the subscribe button if you want notifications of the next thing. If you want to guess where it is and when it is, that's okay with me too. So like, subscribe, notifications. If you have comments, please throw it in the comment section, or you can send something directly to me, mail@commonway.org. I look forward to connecting with you in the near future. Hopefully, glitch-free next time. May all beings be well. May all beings be secure. May all beings be happy. Thanks a lot. I'll talk to you later. Look forward to it.